Imagine yourself in an ancient land where kings and warriors walked side by side. The nation of Israel was at war with the Philistines, a feared and powerful people. The armies faced each other in the valley of Elah, where tension was palpable in the air. Among the Philistines, there was a warrior like no other. His name was Goliath, and he was a giant, almost 3 meters tall. He wore shiny, heavy armor, and his spear looked more like a tree. Goliath challenged the Israelites every day, mocking them and asking them to send a warrior to fight him, but no one dared face this colossus. On the other side of the valley, among the Israelites, there was a young shepherd named David. He was not a soldier, but just a boy, the youngest of his brothers. David spent his days tending his father's sheep, playing his harp, and composing songs. One day, his father sent him to the battlefield to bring food to his brothers. Upon arriving, David saw Goliath mocking Israel, and something inside him revolted. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine to defy the armies of the living God? David asked. The young man's words reached the ears of King Saul, who called him. "Don't worry about this Philistine," David told the king. "I will fight him." Saul looked at the boy and tried to dissuade him. "You are just a young man, and he has been a warrior since his youth." But David told Saul about how he had fought lions and bears to protect his sheep. "The same God who rescued me from the claws of the lion and the bear will rescue me from the hands of this Philistine." Saul had no choice but to allow it. He dressed David in his own armor, but the young man couldn't even move. Instead, David took his sling and chose 5 smooth stones from the stream. With courage, David approached Goliath. The giant laughed when he saw the young man without armor. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" Goliath shouted. David, full of faith, replied, "You come against me with sword, spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you defied. Today, the Lord will deliver you into my hands." Then David ran towards Goliath. He picked up a stone, placed it in the sling, and threw it with all his might. The stone flew through the air and hit Goliath in the forehead. The giant fell to the ground, dead. The Philistine army was astonished and, overcome by panic, fled. The Israelites, full of courage, pursued and defeated their enemies. From that day forward, David was seen as Israel's hero. He showed that, with faith and courage, even the smallest of men can defeat the greatest of giants. And so, David, the young shepherd boy, began his journey to become the great king of Israel. This is the story of David and Goliath, a story of faith, courage, and the victory of the improbable over the impossible.